Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Wednesday, only here on Oldies and More Radio, also live on the YouTube stream. Want to welcome you to the March 15th, 2023 All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Johnny G here from 9 p.m. till midnight, spinning your 60s soul 45s. We opened up tonight's show with on Foster Johnson's Cap City record label with the B-side to the second overall release on the label, Cap City 102, it's by Frenchie and his All-Stars, a tune written by the label owner, Foster Johnson, and I think, and probably the lead of the group, his name is Charles H. Hawkins, I'm guessing that. The song is called Bush. It's the only release for the group on Cap City. Of course, Cap City best known with releases by the Fawns. Many of you know their tune, Wish You Were Here With Me, from November of 67. This is from May 1967. Frenchie and his All-Stars on the Cap City label. It's called Bush. Well, Johnny G not beating around the bush anymore. Let's open up the vocal portion here with this jazz pianist, songwriter, and occasional vocalist. He really didn't do that many, at least in the 1960s. As far as his singing goes, but he's from the Bay Area, first recording for Backbeat Records in May of 1961. It would be, I think, till 1969 till he had his next release. He would return to the recording studio on the Aries record label. Now, this song first issued on Aries Records would then be picked up by Chess Records for national distribution. And that's how I have it on Chess. Tune written by Arthur Feldman. This is from June of 1969. Let's give a listen to Tennyson Stevens. Tennyson Stevens on the Chess record label. It's called Where Would You Be?
Baby, you say you ain't staying for too much longer. Ooh, I got to tell you, 10 women couldn't be longer. You're not gonna go, no. You're gonna stay out here, yeah. I know something that sure rings true. All the good that I've done for you. Where would you be if you lose me? Where would you go if I said no? Where would you hide if I said cry? Where would you be, girl, if you lose me? Baby, you say my lips ain't nothing new. Ooh, I got to tell you my love is warm and tasty too. You're not gonna go, no. You're gonna stay right here, yeah. I know something that sure rings true. All the good that I've done for you. Where would you be if you lose me? Where would you go if I said no? Where would you hide if I said cry? Where would you be, girl, if you lose me? Baby, my patience is wearing mighty thin. Ooh, how can you play the game when you know that you can't win? You're not gonna go, no. You're gonna stay out here, yeah. I know something that sure rings true. All the good that I've done for you. Where would you be if you lose me? Where would you go if I said no? Where would you hide if I said cry? Where would you be if you lose me, baby? Oh, yeah. Where would you be if you lose me? I'm the best thing that you ever had, girl. Yeah.
He's really a jazz pianist, but there he is with some soul R&B there for Tennyson Stevens. June 1969, I have it on the Chess record label, first issued on Aries Records. Where Would You Be is the name of the tune. Now, he would have, I think, 9 releases in all on the Aries label through 1972. Where would you be anywhere unless you're in front of your either PC, your iPhone, your iTV, or just listening to the stream on Oldies and More Radio. for these cool 45s out of my collection. Let's continue here for this girl group from Los Angeles, California. They were all attending Fremont High School in Los Angeles when they got together, first recording as the Dreamers on the Flip record label, but by 1957 they signed with Capitol Records to become the Blossoms, and after some personnel changes, they were a trio. They turned into a trio instead of a quartet in 1961, signing with the Challenge label. Now, they had another single on OK Records before they signed with Frank Sinatra's Reprise label in 1965. They put out 4 singles. This is their first. And at this time, the trio consisted of Fanita James, Gene King, and the lead singer on this, Miss Darlene Love. Darlene Love on lead. This song written by Van McCoy, we know him, produced by Jimmy Bowen, arranged by Ernie Freeman. This charted in a big number 6 if you were listening on WWIN in Baltimore, Maryland. Let's give a listen to the Blossoms. We go back to December 1965 on Reprise Records. It's called That's When the Tears Start.
Each time you walk by, give you a great big smile. Although I wanna die, but when you're not in view, oh, baby, my heart breaks in two. And that's when the tears start, oh, baby, and I start crying. Oh, that's when the tears start, and I start crying. Oh, that's when the tears start. Inside I'm dying. When friends are near me, I start pretending. Tell them I'm doing fine. My heart is mending. But when they're not around, my whole world tumbles down. And that's when the tears start, and I start crying. That's when the tears start, and I start crying. That's when the tears start. Inside I'm dying. Don't think about you so much in daylight, 'cause work is on my mind, and I make it alright. But when the shadows fall, memories come to call. That's when the tears start, and I start crying. That's when the tears start, and I start crying. That's when the tears start, and I start crying. That's when the tears start. Inside I'm dying.
And J. Howard Duff mentions that the Blossoms were the female group on that Shindig program on ABC. They were, and the male group were the Wellingtons. They would do the background vocals for, if any single artist came on, they needed some background singers, they would be the ones to do it. But that's the great sound of the Blossoms. Darlene Love on lead, December 1965. That's on Frank Sinatra's Reprise record label. That was their, what did I say? That was their first. No? Yes. What did I say? I said that was their first release on Reprise. Did I say that? This was their first. Yeah, it was. Anyway, the flip is good on that too, by the way. Anyway, let's continue here on the All 60s edition for this next singer. He's originally from Charleston, South Carolina. He would later concentrate on his writing and producing, but early in his career, he recorded a few singles, first in 1961 on the Raymar record label. Then I think he does one on the Whirls label, Gambit label. I think he has one on Cub that I have. and this label called Purdy. This one came out in July of 1964. It's a song he co-wrote with Alvin Stewart. This one arranged by Horace Ott. I tell you, I look for Horace Ott on my 60s soul records. That is a fact. This charted number 38 on WWIN in Baltimore, Maryland. Let's give a listen to Ray Fleming. Ray Fleming from July 64 on the Purdy label. It's called Another Like You.
In my book of memories, I can see you everywhere. All the things that you've done for me proves how much you care, yeah. And that's why I love you, darling, 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 I do. And there will never be another like you, another like you, another like you, never, no, never, another like you. People love so foolishly, never knowing reasons why, but the times that you spent with me I'll cherish till I die. And that's why I love you, darling, 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 I do. Yeah, and there will never be another like you, another like you, another like you, no, 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 another like you. When I'm down and I'm feeling low and things aren't going my way, I can always depend on you, girl. You know just what to say. And that's why I love you, darling, 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 I do. And there will never be another like you, another like you, another like you, never, no, never, another like you. Darling, 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 there will never be another. Look what you've done for me, baby, the way you set me free. How could there be any other?
That's a cool tune there by Ray Fleming, July 1964. His others are cool too. That's on the Purdy label, P-U-R-D-Y. Another Like You is the name of the tune. Maybe you want another like Johnny G to be on consecutive nights here on Oldies and More Radio, also on YouTube. We'll see if I get to 1,000 subscribers. We're going to do things a little bit differently. I might be on more featuring different genres of music. So I need to get to 1,000 though. That is what I'm searching for. So tell your friends about it if you haven't subscribed to the program yet. So let's continue here for this next group. They're called the Stereos. It's spelled weird, STERIO''S. Now, supposedly, they're the same group from Steubenville, Ohio. I really can't be sure, but because they had releases in the early 60s, of course, on Cub and Columbia and Gibraltar. But the spelling's odd, so it kind of like, I wasn't really sure. But the interesting thing about this, which makes me more sure that they are, is that the flip side of this is a song called Sweet Peas in Love, and that is one that came out in 1959 on the Gibraltar label by the Stereos, but that's a sound from 1959. This is a sound from 1965. This is a more soulful sound, and it's on the Ideal record label. It's from 1965. These are the Stereos with STERIO' on the Ideal label. I like this record. It's called Life. One word, Life.
Just go on from day to day. One day you're up, the next day you're down. Oh, follow your dreams and hope to find good reason for living. One smile, that's all that it takes. To make life worth living. Here is all you got to do. You got to give a little, take a little, let your heart break a little unto others as you have them do to you. Life, you got to make it your own self. You got to live and let live and beware and hope one day you'll find that dream, because life doesn't promise anything. Just one chance, you better take it. Life doesn't promise anything.
We'll send that one out to Adrian in our YouTube chat room. He likes that tune. Adrian's listening in Mexico. He's tuned into the Vinyl Treasure Show, the All 60s edition. He even tunes into my Saturday night show. He likes the 50s and the 60s, and he likes that tune by the Stereos there. 1965 on the Ideal record label, song entitled Life. Really, life doesn't promise you anything. That is the thing here. We live day to day here and just hope that we are happy, like Johnny G is happy spinning his 45's, if you can tell. Let's continue here. Now, I'm guessing this gal is out of New York. It's her only release, and both sides are great in my opinion. Both sides written by ex-Fireflies lead singer, and his name, you know him, his name is Richie Adams, and also someone by the name of Larry Cusick. This one produced by Jack Gold, arranged and conducted by Leroy Glover. And actually, no, this isn't her only release. This is her first of two on the Veep label, because I found out later she had two releases on Veep Records, so that was an old write-up. Anyway, this charted number 38 on KJAY in West Sacramento, California, if you were tuned into that radio station, August 65. Let's give a listen to Xena Foster. Xena Foster on the Veep label. It's called Make It Me.
When you feel the world's falling down on you, and you don't know who to turn to, or what I'll give you a love that shuts the world outside. I'll build your ego and your pride. Please let me try. Let me have the chance to make you mine. I've been wanting you for a long, long time. Make it, make it, make it, make it me. Why can't you see? I wanna be more than a friend to you. So look in your heart and tell me if you feel the same way too. Stop feeling sorry sitting home alone, long, long. I'll give you love that you've never known. If you're my own, so come to my arms and I'll kiss away all the pain that'll come your way. Make it, make it, make it, make it me. Oh, make it, make it, make it, make it me. Oh, make it, make it, make it, make it me.
Her name is Xena Foster. Xena Foster. That's August 1965. That's her first of two on the Veep record label subsidiary of United Artists. Make It Me. Make it Johnny G if you're going to make it here on YouTube, tuned into the Vinyltreasure show. And if you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Let's continue here as as Daryl is cheating. Daryl is cheating. He's letting you know where this next group is. That's okay, because you get to see it before I play it as we head to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for this next group that first recorded back in 1960 as the Chaps. The Chaps with releases on the Brent label. That was 1960 and 61. They recorded for the Matador label. I play them on my Saturday night show. Then in 1965, they signed with Herb Cohen and Nick Sensi's Co-and-C label, not Co-ed, Co-and-C Records out of Pittsburgh, and they were called the Four Chaps. Now, this one released in September of 1965, the Four Chaps on Co-and-C. It features Sonny D'Annunzio on lead, actually co-written by the lead singer, Sonny D'Annunzio. There you go. The name of the tune is called True Lovers.
We're true lovers. We're true lovers. My best friend told me the other day, yeah, that my love has found somebody new. I said he was lying.
They're out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania there with Sonny D'Annunzio on lead. They're called the Four Chaps. Four Chaps on the Co&C record label. That's True Lovers from September 1965. And the Vogues also did a version of that song. Came out in May of 1966. Also on the Co&C record label. And Rob Balboni mentions that Lou Christie also sang on lots of the Vogues, Lou Christie, is it the Ponderosas? I mean, there's not really a ton of releases on the Co&C record label, out of Pittsburgh, PA, but there's some good releases on there, and I like the Vogues. They're Magic Town, their records, when they went to Reprise, then they became like too popish sounding for me. I don't know what it is, but anyway, Johnny G here on a Wednesday evening spinning original vinyl 45s, and up next, a group out of Yonkers, New York. That's not far from where Johnny G is broadcasting. They first recorded for the local York label in April 1963. Then in 65, they signed with Jerry Blaine's Jubilee Records. Now, first presses of this came out using their original name, the Mandels, but between 1963 and this release, there was another Mandels group out of Chicago. I think it was on the it might have been on the what was the label, Transatlantic or something like that, a yellow label. So when this was first issued, it came out as the Mandels, but they quickly changed it to the Jammers. So not to be confused with that Mandels group out of Chicago. But this is the intended B-side of their 45. This one arranged by Robert Banks from December 65. Let's give a listen to the Mandels. That's how I have it, a.k.a. the Jammers. It's on Jubilee Records. It's called True Love is Hard to Find.
Sad and blue, and I say, baby, you must have been crazy to go away, 'cause you know, yes you know, that a true love is hard to find. Hey, you must have been crazy, baby. Why did you leave me alone, so sad and blue? Why did you leave me when you knew my love was true? And I say, baby, you must have been crazy to go away, 'cause you know that a true love is hard to find. Hey, you must have been crazy, baby. Why did you leave me alone when you know? Why did you leave me when you know that a true love is hard to find? And baby, you must have been crazy to go away, 'cause you know that a true love is hard to find. Hey, you must have been crazy, baby. Why did you leave me, baby? Why did you go away, baby? I wanna know why did you leave me? When you know that true love is so hard to find.
December 65 release for the Mandels, a.k.a. the Jammers. It's on Jubilee Records. True Love is Hard to Find. Yes, it is. Now, they would have one more release on the Loma label as the Jammers. I think I have that 45. Maybe I featured it here on the program, but will on a future 60s show as we move on here. We go back to Chicago now. Although this gal was originally from Memphis, Tennessee, her real name was Cora Anna Walton, and she was discovered by blues singer Willie Dixon, who wrote a lot of her songs, as he did this one, which was her 8th of 9 for Leonard Chess's Checker record label. And this was also arranged by Dixon, and this charted number 8 on WRBD in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Let's give a listen to Miss Coco Taylor. Coco Taylor from January 68 on Checker Records. This is another one-word title. It's called Fire.
My soul's on fire. Fire, fire, fire in my baby's heart. It has set my soul aflame. He make my liver quiver. He make my head go dead. He make my body shiver. He make my eyes turn red. Love for me is much too strong. It frees the marrow in my bones. Fire. My soul on fire, and when he talk that talk, I can't help from crying. He's a burning way down inside, set my soul aflame. Fire, fire, fire in my baby's heart. It has set my soul aflame. Fire, baby's heart. It has set my soul aflame.
Yeah, that's at least that's not Wang Dang Doodle. That's what a lot of people know her song, Wang Dang Doodle. I think that's what it is. That song called Fire. That's Miss Coco Taylor, January 1968. It's on the Checker record label, song entitled Fire. Johnny G hopefully not starting a fire here with these 45s as we continue here for this next singer. Born in Birmingham, Alabama, but he moved to New York City when he was a teenager in the 1950s. He became a member of a vocal group called the Sparks of Rhythm that recorded for Apollo Records. He then left that group to form his own group. Actually, he was the lead singer for many groups. I think they were pretty much the same group, but they were under different names, like the Savoys and the Pretenders and the Jones Boys. Not to mention, he had a very successful solo career beginning in 1959 for Cub Records, like Handyman and Good Timin', records like that in 59 and 1960. But he also recorded for other labels into the 60s, like Rojack and VJ and Morris Levy's Roulette record label, which is what this one is. And this charted number 25 on WKNR up in Detroit, the Detroit, Dearborn, Michigan area. Let's go to April 1965 and listen to Jimmy Jones. Jimmy Jones on Roulette Records. It's called, another one-word title, it's called Walkin'.
When you go walking down the avenue and the fellas try to get fresh with you, when they hang around and start to linger, show them my ring on your finger and keep on walking. Walk right past. Keep on walking. Keep on walking, girl. Keep on walking. Oh, yeah. Whatever you do, please don't smile. Because one day we'll be walking down the aisle. Just act like they're not even there. Hurry home to me and I'll be waiting here. Just keep on walking. Walking, walk right past. Keep on walking. Don't you know you got too much class? Keep on walking, girl. Keep on walking. Everybody now, walk. Oh, honey, keep on walking. Walk. Walk, play on walking. Walk. Don't ever, ever look back. Don't let them knock you off the track. Listen to me, baby. Take my advice. Because if you listen to them, you'll pay the price. So please be careful when I'm not around. Pay no attention to those funny clowns and keep on walking. Walking, walk right past. Keep on. Don't you know you got too much class? Keep on walking, girl. Keep on walking. Everybody now, walk. Oh, honey, keep on walking. Walk. Walk, play on talking. Walk. Don't ever, ever look back. Walk.
I guess we can call it the unmistakable voice of Jimmy Jones there. Jimmy Jones was the lead of the Pretenders. I played him, last week or the week before on the Saturday night show, but that one there on Morris Levy's Roulette record label, April 1965, song entitled Walkin'. Johnny G walking through these 45's as we continue here for this next singer as we go to Harlem, New York now. This signed with Van McCoy's Vando label back in 1967. He had a top 30 national hit with his first release on the Vando label. It was called The Sweetest Thing This Side of Heaven. Now, after his fifth release for Vando, he would record two on the Buddha label, but it appears that possibly they were releases recorded by Van McCoy that were leased out to Buddha Records. Maybe McCoy was doing stuff on Buddha at the time. I don't know. But and I say that based on the writer credits, and the writer credits on this one are Van McCoy and Joseph Cobb, which wrote a lot of the songs on the Vando label, and of course also the Van McCoy publishing is on this one here, but this is on Buddha Records. This is actually a B-side, the B-side of his first on Buddha from February 69. Let's give a listen to Chris Bartley. Chris Bartley on the Buddha label. It's called I'll Take the Blame.
Yeah.
never come between. We've got our differences, but we can work them out. A misunderstanding ain't worth breaking up about. Hey baby, girl, don't you leave me just to prove a point. Just to prove that you're right. Cause if it's your way you want, honey, I'll take the blame. I'll do anything you want me to get you back again. Baby, I'll take the blame. Cause without your tender love, I know I'll never be the same. Oh no. Let's give our love another try before we part. Let's wipe the slate and try to make a brand new start. It's true we said a lot of things that we regret, but sugar lovers have to forgive and forget. Hey baby, girl, don't you leave me just to save your foolish pride. Cause I'm willing to beg to get this satisfied. Honey, I'll take the blame. I'll do anything you want me to get you back again. Baby, I'll take the blame. Cause without your tender love, I know I'll never be the same. Oh no. Your tender love, I know I'll never be the same. Honey, I'll take the blame. I'll do anything you want me to get you back again. Baby, I'll take the blame. Cause without your tender love, I know I'll never be the same.
That's Chris Bartley. That's the B-side. Actually, the A-side is a cover of the Barbara Lewis Baby I'm Yours. That's Chris Bartley, though, February 1969. With I'll Take the Blame. That one there on the Buddha label is first of two. So maybe they were like looking for fillers in the back. I don't know, but I prefer that side versus his Baby I'm Yours cover. Let's continue here on the All 60s edition. Can't tell you much about this gal, but her name is Jackie Fallette, and she recorded 4 tracks on August 9th, 1966 in New York City. She had 2 releases on the Verve Folkways record label. Now, this is her first of 2, and a song that she wrote. This is produced and arranged by Dick Short, and this is from January 1967. Let's give a listen to Jackie Fallette, Follett, on Verve Folkways, of all labels. It's called There's a Moment.
Start to realize that you're in the girl. Why deny it? He can see it.
go as I get caught there talking to Timothy in the YouTube chat room there. Though that's Jackie Fallette. Jackie Fallette, interesting sound from January 67 on Verve Folkways Records. There's a Moment is the name of the tune. We continue now. Up next is a duet. Now this is on the Stax label. Now prior to this duet, this gal was in a this gal was with another singer, songwriter, and arranger, Billy Vera. She sang in a duet with Billy Vera, released in November of 1967, had a top 20 hit with a song called Storybook Children. Maybe some of you know that tune on the Atlantic label. She was born Judith Guions. I think that's how you pronounce it, Guions. She was from North Carolina, first recording in 1961 for the Ember label. She does a killer rendition of Stormy Weather, by the way, which I have featured on my Saturday night show. But she recorded on other labels too. She's got releases on Levette, which I have on Scepter. Then Atlantic, she's got a bunch with Billy Vera. And in 1968, she signed with Stax Records and tried her luck again with another duet, this time with William Yarborough. And William Yarborough, a.k.a. William Bell, ex-member of the Del Rios, and he was already signed to Stax, well established to the Sax label, has many singles to his credit. Now this tune, written by Booker T. Jones and William Bell, this charted number 84 on Cashbox, 75 on Billboard, was a number 17 R&B tune, and this was a big number one record if you were listening on WGLS in Columbus, Georgia. Let's go to July 1968 for Judy Clay and William Bell. This is on the Stax label. It's called Private Number.
Remains the same.
while you were gone. I had the number changed, but I'm not acting strange. Welcome home. Nothing's wrong. So I'm saying, baby, 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 you can have my private number. Baby, 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 you can have my private number. Oh, thank you.
That's a duet there, the sound of Judy Clay and William Bell, July 1968 release. It's on the Stax record label. It's called Private Number. Johnny G has given his private number. Many of you listeners have my private number, but the girls that have my private number are Barbara and Charlene. Those, anybody else? I mean, and my female bosses, ex-bosses. And was nice talking to my ex-boss, Lynn. I was very happy that, my company actually gave me a bonus. I was surprised to receive a bonus for last year. It was prorated, but listen, I'll take anything I can get. Save it up to buy records, Brian, saving up my money to buy all those novelty 45s out of your collection. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening as we continue here, and we head to Chicago, Illinois for this next group. They were discovered by Fred Cash of the Impressions. He brought them to audition for his fellow group member, Curtis Mayfield, of course, of the Impressions, who decided to write and produce their records. And they were all siblings, which included Clarence Jr., James, Kenneth, Dennis, and Aloha Burke. And they first recorded 7 for the Windy City record label as the 5 Stairsteps. Now, they would add one more sibling at their youngest sibling. He was 5 years old. He was called Cubie. He was 5 years old, or 3 years old. He was really small, but he was added a little later when they signed with Buddha Records in late 1967. They were recording as the 5 Stairsteps and Cubie. Now, after their 3 singles on the Buddha label, they signed with Curtis Mayfield's Curtom label, and this was their second release, their second of 5, before they eventually switched back to Buddha. Actually, Buddha distributed Curtis's label, Curtom Records. A tune that he wrote, Curtis Mayfield wrote this tune. This charted number 91 on Billboard, 20 on WV, and it was a number 20 record on WVON in Chicago, Illinois. This is from October 1968. Let's give a listen to the 5 Stairsteps and Cubie on the Curtom record label. It's called Stay Close to Me. They're called the 5 Stairsteps and Cubie, October 1968. That's their second release on Curtis Mayfield's Curtom Records. Song entitled Stay Close to Me is the name of the tune. Johnny G is close to you, as close as I can get. on a YouTube stream, except you're seeing my 45's here as we continue. Also live on Oldies and More Radio. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes here for this. Let's go to this next group out of Brooklyn, New York. I often feature them on my Saturday Night 50s show. First recording for the Chess record label back in December of 1955, but then they hooked up with Bob Crew and Frank Slay to record for their XYZ record label in 1957, and you know their signature song was called Silhouettes. That one there, first released on XYZ, would then be picked up by Cameo Records, but I know you guys know and gals know that tune. But this is their very last single that came out on the Amy record label, was written by Charlie Colello and Bob Crew. And Bob Crew also produced it. Colello arranged it. It features Hal Miller on lead. Let's go to February 1964. It's the very last single for the Rays on Amy Records. It's called Love Another Girl.
Another girl, love another girl, love, love, love another girl. Can I love another girl? I try to love others, but I compare them all to you. From you I never really recover, because I know I'll never love another girl, love another girl. Wonder what happened to us. Oh, wonder what did I do wrong? What did you do wrong? Cause breaking up is hard to do. Rolling up instead of goodbye, because I know I'll never love another girl, love another girl. Another girl, love another girl, love, love, love another girl. No, I'll never be able to love another girl. I got one girl on my mind. I wanna tell you, I wanna tell you, I wanna tell you it's you.
That's the sound of Hal Miller and the Rays there. That's their final single. I have 2 copies of that 45. That was my first copy. It's Styrene. Brian, you mentioned it. Brian Korn mentions you. Johnny G hates Styrene records. Although this one plays nice. I think I got one later, the on Gordy. That's not. That's too. It's just. It's too loud, maybe it is. I don't know, but I don't like... Listen, if I had my choice between a vinyl 45 and a styrene pressed 45, I would take the vinyl every time. I would. Well, anyway, that was the Rays there. Hal Miller and the Rays, February 64. Love Another Girl on the Amy label. The flip side's nice, too. I think it's called Something Saturday. But it's more kind of on the doo-woppy sound. Sad Saturday, which is a good side. That's a good side for my closer for my Saturday night show. Anyway, because I'll be back Saturday night at 9 o'clock. Tell your friends about it. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Those of you watching me on YouTube, that goes for, well, Tom Shaughnessy's already subscribed. He's watching me on his 50-inch iTV. I forgot to mention that that Santi, Miami Santi, who is in our Oldies and More chat room, he watches me on the tablet. I forgot to mention those tablets, because you can watch Johnny G on the tablet too. Anyway, let's continue here. Let's go back to Detroit for this girl group. They were also discovered by the Impressions. Two members, Sam Gooden and Fred Cash, discovered these gals, and Curtis Mayfield would produce and write their songs, beginning with ABC Paramount Records. They had two on ABC Paramount, their first two records. And in '66, Curtis Mayfield formed his own label. He called it Mayfield Records, and they would have 5 releases on the label. Now, this is the B-side to their first. And the group included Fern Blesdo, Joanne Level, Shirley Walker, and lead singer Bernadine Boswell. Collectively, they were known as the Fascinations. This is the B-side to their first release from June '66. The Fascinations on Mayfield Records. It's called I'm So Lucky, parentheses, He Loves Me. That's the sound of the Fascinations there. Bernadine Boswell on lead. No, Dave the Rave, Fern is not on lead. That's Bernadine Boswell on lead, June 1966. That's the B-side to their first release on Curtis Mayfield's Mayfield record label. I'm So Lucky He Loves Me is the name of the tune. I want to send that one out to my sister Lori, because She's lucky she married her Terrence Lucky. That is his name, and that is her name, Lori Lucky. So she's lucky all the way around, maybe. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show for this group, for this artist, originally from Providence, Rhode Island. His first release was way back in 1956 on the J&S record label, the 45 Cat people there. They want Johnny G to play that record. I'll see if I'll put that one on, but that was his first release. It came out on Zell Sanders J&S Records in 1956. Not many people know that, but had releases on other labels, on Bo and Enrica and Joy and Colpix. Of course, his biggest hit was on the Colpix label, and you probably know the tune from 1963 called Hey Girl. But then he signed with Columbia Records in 64, had 4 releases. This is his first. It's produced by Clyde Otis, arranged by Gary Sherman. We're going to send this one out to Miami Santi. I don't know how he figured out I was going to play this. He said a little bird told him. Well, anyway, we'll send it out to Miami Santi. This charted number 28 on WVON if you were listening in Chicago, Illinois. This is from August 1964, Mr. Freddie Scott. Freddie Scott on the Columbia label. It's called Mr. Heartache.
When my baby left me, she didn't leave me alone. She sent someone to keep me company. Oh, she was gone. When my guest arrived, I felt the heaven of a mistake. But right there, standing at my door, was a Mr. Heartache. He said, your baby sent me. And then he kind of smiled. He said, let's get acquainted, 'cause I'll be staying a while. I hope you don't mind becoming my roommate. And by the way, my name is a Mr. Heartache. My baby said she'd be back, but she told me a big old lie. She just sent over Mr. Heartache, oh, to tell me goodbye. I wonder how much will I be able to take, looking in the face of a Mr. Heartache. 'Cause now I know loving her was my biggest mistake. So come on in and sit down, Mr. Heartache. Mr. Heartache. Mr. Heartache.
We'll send that one out to Miami Santi and the Oldies and More radio chat room there. The great sound of Freddie Scott. Freddie Scott from August 1964. That's his first of 4 on the Columbia record label. It's called Mr. Heartache. Now, Freddie, we lost Freddie on June 4th of 2007 at the age of 74. I remember when Dave the Ray did an interview with him on his Relics and Rarity show. Very interesting interview that he did with Mr. Freddie Scott. You can check that one out somewhere on the internet archives there. But a very informative interview he did with Mr. Freddie Scott. Well, if you have a heartache, you better go to the doctor. Lots of people getting heartaches lately, but I even was having a heartache that I was worried about, but it was something else. But I take Advil. It seems to work for Johnny G. As I babble on here, let's continue here. Let's go back to Detroit, Michigan with the sound of Motown here on the Vinyltreasure Show, although this group dates back to 1955. And I recently, I think on my 50s show a couple weeks ago, I think for Rick and Philly, or somebody requested their 1955 release on the Chess label, but they also recorded in the early 60s for Columbia Records, also on Riverside Records, before they signed with Motown in 1964. They had a total of around 33 or so singles on Motown Records, Berry Gordy Jr.'s Motown record label. Now, this is their second that did not do so well for them. Oh, I guess 43, you have to be happy on the Billboard chart to have a number 43 record, but it was their follow-up to Baby I Need Your Lovin'. It was actually taken from their LP called The Four Tops. It was number 58 on Cashbox, 43 on Billboard, number 5 record on WJHO in Opelika. Did I say it right? Opelika? Did I say it right, Daryl? Coming to you, Opelika, Alabama, with Levi Stubbs on lead. But I like this record, I do, from November 64. These are the Four Tops on Motown. It's a long title. It's called Without the One You Love, parentheses, Life's Not Worthwhile. The Four Tops.
Baby, I need your good loving. Got to have your love right now, baby. So come and fill my empty arms and make my life worthwhile. Because I'm not living, baby, I only exist. I'll never laugh, I'll never smile no more. I don't care if I stay like this, because without the one you love, life is not worthwhile. Without your love, my dear, I'm like a motherless child. So come and fill my empty arms and make my life worthwhile. When I feel that old hurt coming on, I stop and cry like I'm crying right now. People ask why, but I groan and cry. I drop my head and I sigh and reply. Without the one you love, life is not worthwhile. Without your love, my dear, I'm like a motherless child. So come and fill my empty arms and make my life worthwhile. Baby, sometimes I feel like the wanderer, searching for peace within. I need you, my daughter, like a lost soul needs a friend. So come and fill my empty arms and fill my empty life. Baby, I need nobody knows the emptiness I feel, and I feel it right now. Nobody knows the loneliness I feel, and I feel it right now. 'Cause without the
That's the second release on Motown Records for Levi Stubbs and the Four Chaps. It's called Without the One You Love, parentheses, Life's Not Worthwhile. That one there from November 1964 on the Motown record label. Let's go to West Orange, New Jersey for this gal. First recording in 1961 for the Cap label. She would have two more on the Jubilee record label before she signed with Verve Records in 1965 to, what did I write here? To have, I didn't put down her releases. I think she had 6 releases on Verve through 1968. But this is the B-side to her second, and this is a cover song. This tune first recorded by Little Anthony and the Imperials in December of 1964 on Don Costa's DCP record label. The tune written by Teddy Randazzo, Bobby Hart, and Bobby Weinstein. This one from March 1966. Her name is Susan Rafey. Susan Rafey on the Verve record label, and her rendition of the tune, Hurt So Bad.
I know you don't know what I'm going through. Standing here looking at you, but let me tell you that it hurts so bad. It makes me feel so sad. It makes me hurt so bad to see you again. Like needles and things people say, been making out okay. He's in love, don't stand in his way. But let me tell you that it hurts so bad. It makes me feel so sad. It's gonna hurt so bad if you walk away. Why don't you stay and let me make it up to you? Stay, I'll do anything you want me to. You loved me before, you love me again. I can't let you go back to hurt me. Don't love me no more. It hurts so bad. Come back, it hurts so bad. Don't make it hurt so bad. I'm begging you, please. Please don't go, please don't go. No. Come back, it hurts so bad. Don't make it hurt so bad. I'm begging you.
Cover tunes here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Susan Rafey there from March 66 on the Verve record label. Her cover of Little Anthony and the Imperials' Hurt So Bad, which brings me to the segue of John Cougar's It Hurts So Good. That would go next with this record, but we don't play, what was that, 1980s records? I have it, though. I do. Anyway, Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Up next, a duo out of New Haven, Connecticut, and they both were lead singers of 1950s vocal groups. One was the lead singer of the Five Satins when the original lead, Fred Parris, was in the service. The other was the lead singer of the Premiers. They also recorded as Roger and the Travelers and also of the Frontiers. They are Bill Baker of the Five Satins and Roger Cube of the Premiers. They recorded as David and Goliath. And this tune written by Marty Kugel. Marty Kugel, he was the owner of a 50s label called Click Records, and also probably owned this label. I think it's the Tomorrow with the accent over the A, Tomorrow Records. The tune written by Marty Kugel and also Roger Cube. This one charted number 57 on WDEE. If you were listening in New Haven, Connecticut, let's go to August 1965 for David and Goliath, a.k.a. Bill Baker and Roger Cube on the Tomorrow record label. It's called, in parentheses, it says, Tell Me Why, and then it's I'm Still in Love. Wait, I'm still I'm Still Loving You. I had that wrong. Sorry.
I'll keep holding on. Though you've done me wrong, I'm still holding on. Tell me why I keep loving you, dear. Tell me why I keep holding you, dear, ever since you came to me. My whole life has changed, you see. Makes no difference what you do. I can't help from loving you. Tell me why. I'm still loving you, loving you. For my love is strong. I'll keep holding on. Though you've done me wrong, I'm still holding on. So tell me why I'm still loving you, loving you. I'm still loving you, loving you. I'm still loving you. I'm still loving you. Hey, hey. I'm still loving you. I'm still loving you. Hey, hey. I'm still loving you.
They're out of New Haven, Connecticut. David and Goliath, a.k.a. Bill Baker. Roger Coob, August 65 on the Tamaro record label. Tell Me Why I'm Still Loving You is the name of the tune. Johnny G will tell you why I'm spinning these 45s, because I'm passionate about my record collecting. I hope you can tell as we continue now, as this next singer, originally from Cleveland, Ohio, first recorded in the early 1960s as a member of the Valentinos, recording for Sam Cooke's SAR record label. He would go solo in the fall of 1965, and this was his first solo release. Came out on Leonard Chess's Checker record label. It's a song he wrote, and he tries to still put on the label that he lets you know that he was a member of the Valentinos. It says Bobby Womack of the Valentinos. This is from October 65. It's on Checker Records. It's called I Found a True Love.
I found a true love, swear by the stars above her. I know she's mine, mine, all mine. I found a true love, I call her Magnolia. I know she's mine, mine, all mine. Dig this, she don't try to play the field. She got a love that's real, and that makes her mine, mine, all mine. She's got that something about her. When you get near, man, you wanna holler, and she's mine, mine, all mine. Look, when I wake up in the morning, wake up with her on my mind. Give her all my loving, She set my soul on fire. You can't make me fight her, because I know she's mine. Mine. She's so true to me. Don't try to misuse me, because she's mine. She's mine. Oh, mine. Watch your walk. It'll make your hair rise on your head. To hear her talk that talk, it'll make the flesh tremble on your bones. Oh, the friends all wonder what's come over me. But I found a love as sweet as she can be. I call her Magnolia, no one above her. I know she's mine, oh man. When I wake up in the morning, she makes me feel good. In the midnight hour, she makes me feel good. She makes me feel so good. I just have to holler.
That's the first solo release for Bobby Womack of the Valentinos. October 1965 on the Checker record label. I Found a True Love is the name of that tune. How about we do a twin spin with Bobby Womack as he recorded for other labels? Atlantic, Minute, United Artists, Liberty, Keyman, which I played last Wednesday night, and this label, which I mentioned, Minute Records. Let's give a spin to his eighth of nine on the Minute label. It's a song he wrote. This is produced by Chip Smallman, arranged by Glenn Spreen. October 69. 4 years later, we go to October 69 on Minute Records with Bobby Womack, and the song called Tired and Convicted? Is that what it says? Yes. Tired and Convicted. I am convicted. That's a twin spin for Mr. Bobby Womack, his 8th of 9 on the Minute record label, Tired and Convicted. That one there from October 1969 on the Minute record label. So this Johnny G is guilty tonight, that is for sure. But let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's say hi to Mark Speck that just came into the YouTube chat room here. And we continue here. Up next is a cover tune, as this was first written and recorded by Sam Cooke in 1962 for the RCA record label. Now, I remember when my Aunt Mary came home from a record store with a bunch of 45's. This was in the fall of 1968, and she first played this for me. I wasn't really listening to the radio unless I was in the car, so all of my listening, again, this is October of 68, I was like 10 years old. I just turned 10 years old that September. And this singer was originally a member of the Falcons of You're So Fine fame, plus other great recordings he had, but he went solo in 1963 with releases on Lupine, Suffice, and Atlantic. Then in 66 he signed with Stax Records to have 28 releases through 1975. Now this was his 9th release, and it was a number 20 on Cashbox, number 17 on Billboard, a big number 4 R&B hit, and a big number 1 record on WCIT in, is it Lima, Ohio, if I said it right, Lima, Ohio. And this record brings back fond memories of my Aunt Mary playing the 45. I still have her record. It has a hiss to it because, you know, when you play styrene, you wear it out. You play it over and over again. You're going to wear out the styrene vinyl. But this is a nice mint copy with a BB hole I bought from Mike Demersion for $1. I said I'd buy this record all day for $1 in its original stack sleeve. You can't really go wrong, I'd say. But anyway, October 1968, the great sound of Eddie Floyd on the Stax record label, and his version of Bring It On Home to Me.
If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, then won't you bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me. Oh yeah, you made me cry, honey, when you left, but you only hurt yourself. So won't you bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me. And here's what I'll do for you, darling. I'll give you jewelry and all my money, and that ain't all honey, I'll do for you, no.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. There you go. The great Eddie Floyd. You know, there was like some controversy with his age, you know, there was. At one time it was, but that's a great tune originally done by Sam Cooke from October, that one there, October 1968, Eddie Floyd on the Stax record label, Bring It On Home to Me. We're going to do an instant request here, as we can do on my All 60s show. Can't do it on the 50s show. I mean, maybe at the end of the show, my last record, possibly, if I'm not on for more than 4 hours, I can. But we're going to do an instant request from Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. This is, we're going to flip over that Eddie Floyd record from October 1968 on Stax, Bring It On Home to Me, and give a listen to the B-side, because it's a great B-side, and it's going out to Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. Mr. Eddie Floyd. It's called Sweet Things You Too, for Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. Eddie Floyd.
I did. Let me tell you about yourself, girl. Every word I'm gonna say is true. Oh, yes, it is. You got me so upset. All the sweet little things you do now. Sweet things you do. Every girl look good to me, yeah. And every man will say that's true now. I know he will. But honey, what you got? Ain't nobody got it better than you. Oh no, they ain't. You got me so upset. Cause the sweet little thing you do now. Sweet thing you do. Baby, give me love and please don't stop. No, no. When you start to love and you give a lot, Lord, I love those sweet things you do. Sweet things you do. Sweet things you do, darling. Sweet things you do. I promise you my all. I'll give you everything I got. You know I will. And if you want what I don't have, darling, I'll go out and get you that. You know I will. You got me so upset. Cause the sweet little things you do, darling. Sweet things you do. Sweet things you do. Like loving me, baby. Like kiss me, baby. And I don't mean maybe. Sweet things you do. Oh, I like that. Sweet things you do. Like loving me, baby.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. An instant request from Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. That is the B-side to Bring It On Home to Me, Sweet Things You Do, from October 68 by Mr. Eddie Floyd on the Stax record label. We move on here on the All 60s edition for this next singer. He's from Augusta, Georgia, became part of James Brown's backup band called the JBs. Played harmonica, but he was also a writer and a vocalist. Now, this was the B-side to his debut single that came out on the Loma label, tune written by Rudy Clark and produced by James Brown, from August 1965. Let's give a listen to Walter Foster. Walter Foster on the Loma label. It's called Your Search Is Over.
Put your head on my shoulder. Have you been searching for a good man? Someone to love you the way I can. Oh, turn around. Look at me. I love you, love you. Have you been searching through this mixed up world? Have you been searching for a true lover, girl? Turn around, look at me. put your head on my shoulder. You don't have to cry anymore, no. You don't have to cry anymore. Have you been searching through this mixed up world? Have you been searching for a true love girl? Oh, come on, turn around. Look at me. I love you, love you, love you. Have you been searching for your friends? I say you can stop searching now, 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 now. I say you can stop searching right now, baby. You don't have to look no further. I remember when you told me.
I think he's trying to sound like James Brown there, and it sounds like the famous Flames are behind him there, but that's Walter Foster, August 1965. It's on the Loma label. Your search is over, but it is over when you're tuned in to Johnny G and the Vinyltreasure show on Oldies and More Radio, also live on YouTube. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please click the thumbs up if you enjoy what you are listening to as we continue here. Let's go back to Chicago now, to Robert Weaver's Weiss record label, and this 45 produced by Andre Williams. Now this is the group's second of two for the Weiss label. Now the group is called the Forevers, and it features a female lead. Her name is Kitty Haywood. Kitty Haywood on lead. We go to February 1969. These are the Forevers on the Weiss label. It's called What Goes Around, parentheses, Comes Around. Those are the Forevers. The Forevers there with with Kitty Haywood on lead there, February 69, What Goes Around, parentheses, Comes Around. Now, Mark Speck tells me that the label is pronounced We Is. We Is, stand with two guys. Charlene has one of them, Robert Weaver here for We, but the other guy, was it Albert somebody there? Yeah, Albertus Isabel, and therefore that's how they got the Is. But they should have had a dash in there. They shouldn't have kept them together as WEIS, because that would throw me off. I could see if it was We Is. This is the We Is label, I guess. Anyway, Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue here for this next singer. He was a member of the 50s group known as the Q's. I feature them quite often on my Saturday night 50s and early 60s show, but he left the group in 1957 for a solo career. His name was Jimmy Breedlove. He recorded on a number of labels, Capitol, Atco, Epic, OK, the New York City Diamond label, and in 1964, he had this release on the Cap label under an alias. He was called JB, the initials JB Love. And it's a song he co-wrote with Patricia Brown, and this is from July of 1964, and it's J.B. Love, a.k.a. Jimmy Breedlove on Cap. It's called I Wouldn't Have It Any Other Way. I think I played this not too long ago, a B.B. King version of this, but this I think is the original. I Wouldn't Have It Any Other Way, J.B. Love.
The palm of your hand, I'm right where you knew that I would land. But
That's the sound of Mr. J.B. Love, July 1964. It's on the Cap record label. I Wouldn't Have It Any Other Way is the name of the tune. Also, B.B. King also recorded that. Now, you might be getting confused with Any Other Way by Jackie Shane. That was recorded by, that's a different song. But again, it's that those words are probably really nice to say or easy to put in a song, I guess. I don't know, but we continue here for this next singer out of Manchester, England. He was the lead singer for the Mindbenders. They had a #1 hit here in the States on the Fontana record label back in 1965 with The Game of Love. But in 1966, he left the Mindbenders for a solo career. He signed with MGM Records, had 4 releases on MGM. Now, this is the B-side to his 3rd release on MGM. It's a song he wrote. This charted number 23 on WORC in Worcester, Massachusetts. We go to January 1967 for Mr. Wayne Fontana. Wayne Fontana on MGM Records. It's called Something Keeps Calling Me Back.
Walking back to tears and pain. Although her love is not the same, I'm half of a one-sided love. Yes, her heart needs one mighty shove, just to turn its eyes around to me. A truer love they'll never see. Something keeps calling me back. Something keeps calling me back. Calling me back. I'm gonna make her love me bit by bit. She's all mine. I know I just won't quit. Something keeps calling me back. A love I'm determined to crack. I'm gonna make her love me bit by bit, till she's all mine. I know I just won't quit. Something keeps calling me back. I'm coming. Something keeps calling me back. Yes, I'm running. Something keeps calling me back. Well, I've tried everything that one man can, but just how much can one man stand? Hey, I'm gonna make her love me. I've tried everything that a woman can. Oh, yeah. Something keeps calling me back. Something keeps calling me back. Oh, something keeps calling me back. Yes, there's something keeps calling me back.
That's Wayne Fontana. Wayne Fontana with his 3rd release on the MGM record label, song entitled Something Keeps Calling Me Back. Didn't Al Pacino say that in the Godfather saga, the last Godfather thing? They keep pulling me back. Yeah, anyway, that's from January 1967, MGM Records, a song he wrote. We're going to flip it over here. We're going to send it out to Mark Speck. It's an instant request in our YouTube chat room that he wants to hear the flip side here. By Wayne Fontana. So we're going to give it a play. He says it's not, because that side was the Northern Soul side, but this side maybe is just a song that Mark really, really likes. So we're going to play it here. This is and I think this might be the intended A side, I think, really. Wayne Fontana from January 1967 on MGM. Instant requests for Mark Speck. It's called Pamela, Pamela.
Pamela, Pamela, remember the days our day was with apples and books and school plays, when little Brer Rabbit kissed Pooh in the wood, and Pamela was a cat that sat on the rug. When Laurel and Hardy are shown at the flicks, with sticky red lollies on splintery sticks, pigtails and ribbons and crushes on mist, secret discussions about a first kiss. You were young and everything was new, impatient to do things you couldn't do. Oh, Pamela, Pamela, you started to grow answers to questions you wanted to know, when the rest of your childhood forgets as a dream, and the harshness of life dims the peaches and cream. When Laurel and Hardy were shown at the flicks, with sticky red lollies on splintery sticks, pigtails and ribbons and crushes on mist, secret discussions about a first kiss. Oh, you were young and everything was new, impatient to do things you couldn't do.
That's an instant request from Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room there. That's Wayne Fontana from January 1967, his third release on the MGM record label. That is the A-side. It's called Pamela, as we continue now. For this next singer, began recording back in 1957 for the Prep record label and continued to record into the late 1980s on a number of labels. I feature many of his Monument 45's here on the All 60s show, not to mention other artists recording for Monument that he produced or arranged or even wrote tunes for. But prior to Monument, he recorded for the Mercury record label. His real name is Harold Ray Ragsdale, but we know him as Ray Stevens. Now here is his 11th of 12 for the Mercury record label, and the A-side was called The Rockin' Teenage Mummies. That's a record that Brian Korn would want me to play, but I prefer this side. This side, a song he wrote with Robert Tubert, produced by Shelby Singleton and Jerry Kennedy. Let's go to January 1965. I like the sounds, or the serious sounds, of Ray Stevens. This is on the Mercury record label, and the name of the tune is called It Only Hurts When I Laugh.
When I was young, my daddy said that big boys shouldn't cry. And when I get hurt, he'd say, laugh it off and hold your head up high. And so I remembered his advice on the night you said goodbye. And although you're gone from me, no one will ever see me cry. It only hurts when I laugh, and I laugh my tears away to prove that I'm strong. It only hurts when I laugh, but since you've been gone, I laugh all the day long. Knowing you're with someone else is so very hard to stand. But no matter how I feel inside, I take it like a man, and I hold my head up high and keep those teardrops from my eyes. Yes, I laugh till it hurts, but you will never see me
Ray Stevens, a serious side by him. I like those serious sides by Ray Stevens. January 65, his 11th of 12. On the Mercury record label, It Only Hurts When I Laugh is the name of that tune. Johnny G here on a Wednesday night right here on Oldies and More Radio. We're here till midnight. We do a little bit of overtime. We'll do that till about 12:30, so you can stick around till then. And I'll be back next Saturday night at 9 o'clock for 1950s and early 60s. Get me your requests. Send them to me at vinyltreasures@aol.com. We continue here for this next group. They're out of Baltimore, Maryland. They recorded 4 on the Baltimore-based Bass Sound record label. This is their first release, which initially came out on the Caravelle label in August of 1967. About a month later, Bass Sound put it out on their label. This is produced by the lead singer, Milton Duggar Jr., who is a Facebook friend of mine. He is on Facebook, and let's send this one out to him. It's a great two-sided 45 from September 1967, the Chaumonts. I think that's how you pronounce it, Chaumonts, the Chaumonts on the Bass Sound label. It's called I Need Your Love.
Baby,
Yeah.
you know I'm gonna love you.
Ooh.
You know I'm gonna keep you
Oh yeah.
on my mind. Yeah, baby,
Yeah.
you know I'm gonna want you.
Ooh.
You know I've got to have you
Oh yeah.
all of the time. You know I need your love. Got to have your love. Ooh, baby,
Yeah.
you know I'm gonna love you.
Ooh.
You know I'm gonna keep you
Oh yeah.
on my mind. And yeah, baby,
Yeah.
you know I'm gonna want you.
Ooh.
You know I got to have you
Oh yeah.
all of the time. You know I need your love. I've got to have your love. Yeah, baby, you know I'm gonna keep you. You know I'm gonna keep you on my mind, yeah. And baby,
They're called the Chaumonts. The Chaumonts, Chaumonts, September 67 release. I have it on the Bass Sound record label. Milton Duggar Jr., the lead singer on that. I Need Your Love, with the girls in the background there. Anyway, let's continue here. Speaking of girls, this seems to be the only 45 for this gal. Her real name is Gertrude C. Holmes, but she recorded for RCA Records under the alias Faye Crawford. This tune produced by Joe Renee, arranged by Bert Keys. And this is the intended A-side of the 45 from April 1965. Let's give a listen to Faye Crawford. I wonder if she was, well, it can't be related to June Crawford. Anyway, Faye Crawford on RCA with What Have I Done Wrong? Lots tonight.
Have I done wrong? What have I done wrong? What have I done to make your heart turn cold? Was I too timid? Was I too bold? Come on and tell me, what have I done
April 65 there from Miss Faye Crawford. Faye Crawford, that's not her real name, that's an alias. Her real name is Gertrude C. Holmes. That's on RCA Records. Song entitled What Have I Done Wrong, as we move on here on the All 60s edition. Now this next group, they're out of Columbus, Ohio, and this is their debut single, which came out on Bill Moss's Holiday label, also out of Columbus, Ohio. Now this quartet consisted of James Brown, not the James Brown we know, but Donald Russell, Jimmy Harmon, and lead singer Ben Pete Caldwell, who wrote this tune. This is from November of 1969. This would come out on the Capsule label, which also belonged to Bill Moss. He owned that Capsule label, but this is the first press on the Holiday label. They're called the Four Mints, M-I-N-T-S, the Four Mints from November 69 on Holiday. It's called You Want to Come Back.
You wanna come back. I've lost so much sleep. Now you got the nerve to come running back, telling me you're sorry. It's too late now. It's too late. Oh, you wanna come home. It's too late now. After you went away, thought that I was jiving, but now you found out I was lying. Now you got the nerve to tell me you still got a feeling for me. It's too late now. It's too late now. Baby, 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 I don't need you now. I done found me another lover. She agreed to stay by me. So much sleep. Now you got the nerve to come running back, telling me you're sorry. It's too late now. It's too late now. Oh, it's too late now, baby. You wanna come back, but it's too late. It's too late, baby. You wanna come back, but it's too late. You wanna come back, baby. You wanna come back, it's too late. Oh, you wanna come back, it's too late. You wanna come back, it's too late. Oh, you wanna come back, it's too late.
That groove called the Four Mints. The Four Mints from November 1969. That's on the Holiday record label. You Want to Come Back is the name of the tune. This would be reissued on Bill Moss's Capsule record label, as well as they had others going into the mid-1970s. Now, Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room wants me to flip over this. This record is trashed. Al sold it to me for $1. He goes, Johnny G, you can have this record for $1. I don't know what it sells for, but it's not in great shape. But I took the toothbrush to it the other day, I think Sunday night, to wash it. But we're going to flip the 45 over, because that side you just heard was really the intended B side, and Mark wants to hear the intended A side. It's trash too here. Let me get this needle on the. There you go. So we're going to flip that 45 over. You just heard You Want to Come Back. Let's play the A side. This is for Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. These are the Four Mints. The Four Mints from November 69 on Holiday Records. It's called You're My Desire. Scratchy Records by Request. That's from Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. Those are the Four Mints, November 69 on the holiday label. You're My Desire is the name of the tune. Played the B-side to You Want to Come Back. That's their debut single. Came out on the holiday record label. We continue now for this next singer-songwriter and record producer, originally from Fort Worth, Texas, but he moved to Los Angeles, California in 1959 and signed with Gene Autry's Challenge record label. Had 21 releases through 1966 for Challenge. Here is his 18th release, which charted number 23 on WTRY in Troy, New York. This is from February 1965. Let's give a listen to Jerry Fuller. Jerry Fuller on Challenge Records. It's called I Get Carried Away.
I get carried away with your kisses, carried away by your touch. I get carried away 'cause I love you so much. This has never happened before. I get carried away the moment you walk through the door. Baby, what you're doing to me, I get carried away. But keep it up, it's heavenly. 'Cause I get carried away with your kisses, carried away by your touch. I get carried away 'cause I love you so much. Oh, I begged you not to lead me on unless your love is true. Don't take advantage of me, that's not the way it should be. I'm hopelessly in love with you. Help me know the way that you feel. I get carried away. I've got to know your love is real. Won't you tell me your love is true? I get carried away. I need to hear those words from you. 'Cause I get carried away with your kisses, carried away by your touch. I get carried away 'cause I love you so much. Oh, I get carried away with your kisses, carried away by your touch. I get carried away 'cause I love you so much.
February 65 release for Jerry Fuller. That's his 18th release on the Challenge label. I Get Carried Away is the name of the tune. Johnny G gets carried away playing my 45s. They mesmerize me during the show that I want to continue to play more. It's really an addiction, a record collector addiction here. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We head to Philadelphia, PA, to Don White's Alpha record label. He also owned the Donnell record label, and that's what this group is named after. They were called the Donnells. They recorded 2 on the Alpha label, and this is their second, written by Eddie Holman and James Solomon. This one arranged by Bill Massey. This is from 1965. They're called the Donnells, named after Don White's name, label, Donnell Records. These are the Donnells on the Alpha label. It's called Everybody Don't Know. 1965 release there for the Donnells. Donnells on Don White's Alpha record label. Everybody Don't Know. That doesn't sound right. It should be Everybody Doesn't Know, but I guess it wouldn't sound good in the song anyway. But there you go. As we continue here on the All 60s edition for this next singer, began his career as the lead singer of the Three Friends. You may know his song Blanche from 1957 on the Lido label. He also would join the Royal Teens on the, I think on Capitol Records. I don't know if he was on their ABC releases, but definitely on Capitol with Believe Me, which is a song that I like by the Royal Teens. His real name is Joe Francavilla, but he shortened it to Joe Villa. And here is has a number of solo releases. Now this is on his own Delight record label, a song he produced with his brother Eddie Villa. This is from October 1967. Joe Villa or Joey Villa on the Delight record label. It's called Chloe.
Empty spaces meet my eyes, empty arms outstretched. I'm crying through the black of night. I gotta go where you are. If it's wrong or right, I gotta go where you are. I roam through the dismal swampland, searching for you. 'Cause if you are lost there, let me be there too. Smoke and flame, I gotta go where you are. For no place could be too far where you are. Ain't no chains can bind you. If you live, I'll find you. Love is calling me. I gotta go where you are. The smoking flame, I gotta go where you are. Oh, no place could be too far where you are. Hey, no chains can bind you. If you live, I'll find you. Yeah, love is calling me. I gotta go where you are. I said ain't no chains can bind you. But if you live, I'll find you. Is calling me. I gotta go where you are. There ain't no chains can bind you. Well, if you live, I'll find
They're trying to sound like Frankie Valli there. I think you're correct, you guys in the chat room there. That's Joey Villa, Joe Villa from October 1967. That's on the Delight Records there. Chloe is the name of the tune. Let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures. It's the All 60s show. It's every Wednesday night beginning at 9 p.m. This up next, a girl group from Atlantic City, New Jersey. They all met while they were in high school. Now, the group group consisted of Monique Fords, Johnny Lee Manning, Lynn Fields, and lead singer Charlotta Gilbert. Collectively, they were known as the Debs. Now, this is their lone release. Came out on Lloyd Price's Double L record label. This one from November 1963. Let's give a listen to the Debs on Double L, again with Charlotta Gilbert on lead. It's called Danger Ahead.
Stop, hey girl, no, no, turn around, ahead. Oh, Lord, you love him so, but you have given your heart to Romeo, yeah, yeah. So look out, because there's danger ahead, I can see that there's danger ahead, 'cause I know that there's danger ahead, there's danger ahead. He's not rubber band of beans, and he's not half as charming as he makes it seem. Look out, because there's danger ahead, I can see that there's danger ahead, 'cause I know that there's danger ahead, there's danger ahead. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm telling you, he won't be true. No, you just wait and see. He'll break your heart, tear it all apart, just like he did to me. Yeah, yeah. Why you still have time? Just when you think you have him, he'll leave you crying. Yeah. So look out, because there's danger ahead. I can see that there's danger ahead, 'cause I know that there's danger ahead. So look out, because there's danger ahead. I can see that there's danger ahead, 'cause I know that there's danger ahead.
They're called the Debs on the Double L record label. That belongs to Lloyd Price. That's his label. November 1963, Danger Ahead with Charlotta Gilbert on lead. She would have a solo release, a solo single on the VIP record label from 67 called Chances Go Round. Yes, we do. Johnny G going round and round every Wednesday from 9 to midnight right here on right here on Oldies and More Radio. Almost slipped there. And also live on YouTube. Let's continue here for this next artist. He's from Little Rock, Arkansas. He had some releases on the Skillet record label. Now, this song first came out on that label, but it was picked up by Atlantic Records. Actually, I think it was his only release that they picked up, and then he continued to record on the Skillet label. It's a song that he wrote, and he also produced it. And this is from July 1966. His name is Ned Towns. Ned Towns on, I said VIP, I meant Veep. That's what I meant. I shouldn't have said VIP, I meant Veep. Johnny G again under the COVID fog hood. This is on Atlantic Records. And do they still have Wednesday night bingo nights for the senior citizens? Because the name of the tune is called Bingo.
Before I take a chance, I want to see you do the 45. Come into my arms. I'm so glad you're mine. Oh, pretend I'm a candle to save you from the dark. Bingo, bingo, baby, you just
As Ned Towns. Ned Towns from July 66. I have it on the Atlantic label, song entitled Bingo. Johnny G doesn't play bingo, although my sister, when she buys those for the birthdays, she'll go buy these chances, and there are those bingo chances on there, though. My father, he doesn't know what he's checking off, but he goes, "Did I win?" And he shows it to me. I says, "No, you didn't win. You rarely win on those bingo plays." Anyway, Johnny G spinning original vinyl 45's. Let's continue here. Now, this group, they go way back to the 1950s. Feature them quite often on my 50s show, but they have some cool, soulful sounds in the 1960s. Actually, I think there were some personnel changes here, because a lot of the artists, they left. Solly McElroy left. He's got some cool soul releases on Jawiz. I think I have featured him here on the program. But this group signed with Philips in 1965 to have 6 releases. Let's give a listen to their 4th. This tune written and produced by Billy Carlucci and Joe Veneri. Now, Billy Carlucci, he was the lead singer of Billy and the Essentials, and he also did some some nice tunes in his career. But this is arranged by Sammy Lowe. This charted number 24 on WJMO in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's go to November of 1966. Give a listen to the Flamingos. The Flamingos on the Philips label. It's called She Shook My World.
Sometime girls come and go. This one's here to stay. And now my sunshine every day. The days of loneliness since long gone away. The touch of silk and lace
Yeah, those are late Flamingos there from November 1966. That's their 4th release, 4th of 6 on the Philips label. She Shook My World. At one time she did, as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And this gal would have 5 overall releases during her career. Her real name was Rosa Evans, but on record she was known as Little Rose Little. Now, her debut single came out on the Limelight record label in early 1965. It was then picked up by Blue Rock Records, and it's actually a cover tune. This was first recorded by Bertie Green in 1963 on the 20th Century Fox label. This one from January 1965. Let's give a listen to Little Rose Little. I have it on Blue Rock Records. The tune is called Get a Hold. Is it of or on? It's called Get a Hold of Yourself. We'll send that one out to Adrian listening in Mexico in the YouTube chat room. That is Little Rose Little there, January 1965. That is her debut single, although it first came out on the Limelight label, picked up by Blue Rock, her first of two on Blue Rock. She would have one more on Roulette in 1967. I have that 45, but this one called Get a Hold of Yourself. Johnny G getting a hold of himself here on a Wednesday night. Hope you're digging on the tunes here. We continue now for this next group. They're originally from Baltimore, Maryland. They recorded 4 on Baltimore disc jockey Fred Robinson and George Kerr's Rockers record label. Rockers Records originally out of Baltimore, but I think they relocated somewhere, or at least their records were distributed by Amy Malabelle. But this is the group's third release, arranged by Bobby Martin and Tom Bell. Isn't that like a Philadelphia connection there? And George Kerr, he was I paid him. He was a lead singer of the Serenaders. He's from New Jersey, but it features Raymond Shields on lead. This is from July 1969. It's Frankie and the Spindles with Raymond Shields on lead. Rocker Records. It's called Tomorrow.
The love I found in my baby's arms, I might miss tomorrow. The thrill I found in my baby's kiss, I might miss and be filled with sorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, tomorrow. Lord, the love I felt my life began and I made me feel with sorrow. Somebody's arms may be holding her. Oh, and caressing her and making her free for me. Whoa, it's tomorrow, baby, tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, tomorrow, baby, tomorrow. It's got to be tomorrow, baby. Yeah, yeah, tomorrow, baby, tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Somebody's off, somebody's maybe holding her, maybe and holding her and driving her away, baby. Somebody's lips, maybe kissing her, maybe kissing her and caressing her and making her free for me. Whoa, it's tomorrow, baby, tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, tomorrow, baby, tomorrow. It's got to be tomorrow, baby. Yeah, yeah, tomorrow, baby. No, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, it will. Maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow will be just for the days. Maybe tomorrow we'll be loving till the end. Wait till tomorrow, we'll try something new.
July 1969 there for Frankie and the Spindles. Frankie and the Spindles, a song entitled Tomorrow, that one there on the Rocker record label. It features, Raymond Shields on lead. They have other releases on the Canyon, the Funny A label, Gamble, TSOP, and the Strawberry record labels. Now, Mark Speck wants Johnny G to flip the 45 over, so we're going to do this for Mark. An instant request by Frankie and the Spindles here. They put it on the turntable here. What's the title here? There is, because they look like they have all different releases here, but we're gonna play it here. This is on Rocker Records. Frankie and the Spindles. This is from Mark. It's called There Is a Beauty. This is from Mark.
There's beauty in sunshine. There's beauty in trees. And if you
July 1969 there. That's Frankie and the Spindles. That's a different lead on that. And that song going out to Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. There Is a Beauty. That one there on the Rocker record label. I think, Mark, the first two singles were distributed by Jamie Guyton. You can tell definitely the print is different. It's a thicker press. This is a styrene press. This one distributed by Amy Malabelle. So maybe something happened with Jamie or whatever, and Amy Malabelle came in to distribute the records. But anyway, that's an instant request from July 69 for Mark Speck, Frankie and the Spindles on Rocker. There Is a Beauty. Let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures for this next gal. She had two releases on Leonard Chess's Checker record label, first in 1962. That was her first release. She followed it up with this one from June of 64. The song written by Chester Simmons. Chester Simmons sang with a bunch of vocal groups. I remember that. And the other writer on this is Eddie Floyd. We heard Eddie Floyd earlier. Of course, he sang with the Falcons of You're So Fine fame, and we heard him earlier on Stax Records, but he co-wrote this tune. Her name is Connie Christmas. That sounds like an alias to someone else. Who would be Connie Christmas? I mean, come on, really. But it's from June 64. It's on Checker Records. It's called That's Why, parentheses, I'm So Blue.
Oh, 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 guess I'll never see the light, 'cause my baby left me last night. And now I'm so blue, so blue, so blue. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, I remember the nights I held you so tight. I held you, baby, oh baby, till broad daylight. And now I'm so blue, so blue. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, baby, I need your loving, oh so bad. No one could have told me, child, our love would last. But now you gone, and I just don't know what to do, 'cause I'm so blue, so blue, so blue. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, no, no, that's why you hear me say, oh my baby, oh my baby, oh yeah, 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 let me say that. Oh my baby, oh my baby, oh yeah, oh, that's I'm so blue,
As Connie Christmas, she don't sound too happy there. June 1964, crying her heart out there on the Checker label. That's why, parentheses, I'm so blue. That's Connie Christmas from June 64. Johnny G, hopefully not making you blue here as we continue here on the All 60s edition. We go back to Detroit, Michigan here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, as this group initially recorded for Buster Abney's Dynamics record label. And let me see. Buster Abney co-wrote this tune with the lead singer of the group. His name is Billy George Jones. And of course, they would have later releases on the Westbound record label, Wally Records, and 3G's Records. But this is on Dynamic from 1967. Give a listen to the Superlatives. The Superlatives, it's called Do What You Want to Do.
Yeah, how about that? What's wrong with it?
right, so long now. So long, baby. So long, yeah. On my way, yeah, yeah. I'm going to stay, yeah, yeah. Now let me tell you, girl. Gotta go now, got to go. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, baby. Goodbye, yeah. I gotta go now. Oh, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah, yeah. Oh, goodbye. We gone.
Boy, that was a quick thing. I didn't expect the record to end that quickly there, but there you go. That group called the Superlatives. I lost my place. They're called the Superlatives. They're out of Detroit, Michigan, 1967. Came out on the Dynamic record label. It's called Do What You Want to Do. There you go. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to Cool Soul 45's out of my collection. If you want to get in touch with me, you can send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. And if you missed any of the show, you can go to my website. It's vinyltreasures.net. Sometimes they kind of block my video in certain countries, but they were nice the last couple of weeks. Well, maybe it was, I think it was blocked in Russia. I think was the only place it was blocked in. But also you can come back right after the show. It'll be posted up on YouTube. So if you missed any of the show, you can go back and check it out. That'll be there for your listening pleasure. And I'll be back here next Wednesday night beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for more cool Soul 45s out of my collection. And I'll be on this coming Saturday. If you like 1950s and early 60s vocal groups, tune into that show. It's really a big all-request show. And we're working on that show, putting it together. I just realized that tomorrow I have to get up early because Grace is coming early tomorrow. So I thought I would do a little bit more in overtime, but I can't. I was really tired today. So and then I might stop in to go see George Tompkins tomorrow. I got to see if he sent me an email to do that. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. We're going to close the show tonight with a record I really like. I featured him, I think, a twin spin last week by him. I think I played his first release on the Double Shot record label, the Oogum Boogum song, and then the flip side of his big hit, Gimme Little Sign, which I think you got your fools mixed up. But his real name is Alfred Smith. He was born in Shreveport, Louisiana, raised in California. As I mentioned, first started recording with Little Freddie and the Rockets. That's a rare 45 you'll hear on my Saturday night show. But does a song called Too Fat on the Chief record label. But this song is his follow-up. Actually, I think it's the B-side to his follow-up to Gimme Little Sign, a tune he co-wrote. This charted number 29 on WHVW in Hyde Park, New York. Okay. It's from October 1967. Our closer tonight is by Brenton Wood on Double Shot. It's called Catch You on the Rebound, and that's what Johnny G's going to do. Going to catch you on the rebound either Saturday night at 9 o'clock or on next Wednesday night right here on YouTube and Oldies and More Radio. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, please give me the thumbs up, even those of you that tune in on the archive. Very important to do that. So Johnny G's out of here. I will see you next time here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Thank you, Charlene, again for all your help. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
On the start later, baby. Get you on the rebound. Rebound. Oh, you were the first love.